In this video, we're going to take a look here over at the indexes, checking in on the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, Russell here, the Dow. We're going to focus in over here on the US dollar, the DXY, the US dollar index. We'll check in on gold, silver making a move up 2.5%, 2.75%, and really focus in on what's next on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also check in on the cross Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And we're going to do all that right now. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. This is an important public service reminder, and it's not to go ahead and smash that like button, but I would appreciate if you did that anyway. This is a reminder and very important over here. This over here, Conquer Trading Investing, is not myself. I will never solicit you for an investment. I will never share my personal or WhatsApp phone number with you. This is Jordan over here where it's highlighted in gray, the channel, Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're ever in doubt, click on it and you can check how many subscribers are here. As you can see over here with this spammer, this scammer, don't get confused. Always it must be in gray. This is not grayed out over here. Before I delete that, just go ahead and see it. You could always click. This channel does not have any content. That is a scam. Protect yourself, stay safe, and I will continue making sure that I report all of this scammer so that they aren't able to interfere or scam anyone that's involved with this community. We're starting off here with the S&P 500. You can see what's developing over here, quite bullish. You can see that bull flag developing over here as it is just off of all-time highs. All indexes, their nature looks extraordinarily technically bullish over here. There's zero reason for us to be looking for a crash or calling a top. If at any point in time we start seeing a correction in any of the indexes that looks like it's going to go further down, we'll be looking for that, and if need be, looking to attack to the downside. But right now their bullish structure is in place and they continue to perform well. You can see over here the NASDAQ holding this line of support over here late into the afternoon. A resumption off there, that might wind up being a solid entry over here on the NASDAQ. What about the Russell? You can see the Russell over here already off to new all-time highs. This is obviously out of play right now because it is right now. You can see the momentum to the upside over here. You don't want to chase after momentum. You want to be preemptive of momentum. That's why the NASDAQ currently here off support looks like the better trade if you're looking to go ahead and look for a long entry off that support. All the indexes right now, in my opinion, remain unattractive, and we will be waiting for a further correction before looking to go ahead and look for an entry. Just to check in on the Dow also, you could see over here that had a little bit of a bull flag, which we've come up of already right now, and everything looks very nice as far as stock indexes go. The DXY is the real story of the day. This morning on the live stream, by the way, if you were there this morning, go ahead and smash the like button right now. We were talking about as price was into that resistance over there, we were looking for a rejection at that resistance, and if it didn't break above, then into this trend line over here. If you step back for a second, I'll go to a 3-day chart over here. Let me pull down for you just so you can get a better view. You can see that we are currently on the DXY, falling at breaking down outside of this massive channel over here. It's very bearish. We were talking about as we came into this area of support over here, you could see this little bit right there of supply, that it would be normal and healthy for us to retrace, come up even as far as that trend line over there, since we've broken down outside of that trend line to look for that retest. What is happening right now today is so far this resistance is holding. You can see it over here, this horizontal resistance at 90.56, and price is being rejected off of there. So here's the moral of the story: as everyone started looking for the bottom in the dollar, and simply because yields were started rising, they were talking about, oh, this is when the dollar is going to make its move. Stop trying to call bottoms, stop trying to call tops, rather trade the sweet spot of the trend. When price is in a strong downtrend, look to sell resistance. Here was your resistance. Unless the dollar reclaims this trend line over here to the upside, unless the dollar reclaims that, we are not at any point looking to take any long trades on the US dollar. The dollar right now is technically extraordinarily bearish. We're looking for that momentum to continue until we see signs that it is changing, and price coming back up after trading at yearly 2-year lows and simply retracing to the closest resistance. That's not a sign of a trend change or anything like that. What's next? Let's focus in on gold over here. Gold remains out of play. Why I say it's out of play, this also is in a channel right? But the DXY has broken down out of that channel. Gold had a failed breakout over here. It broke out of the channel. This warranted looking for a trade to the long side on the retest and the resumption out, but that failed. Once prices come back into this channel, gold is not attractive right now. Let me show you on the 3-day time frame. You can see this is this beautiful, massive bull market that gold is in right now. And then you can see this descending channel that gold has broken out of and then fall back into it. What does that mean? That means until it breaks out again, gold is simply not attractive. Wait. You got to have patience as a trader. You got to have patience and let things develop. And then only when and if it gives you a trigger do you go ahead and attack. Silver, on the other hand, looks a little bit more bullish than gold over here. Silver has so far held this important level of support over here at 24.32. However, and we said that this morning, just recapping, this is not a place you'd look to take a long, right, into that resistance. And it's pretty good resistance. Look over here all the way back in August and September when that was holding at support. Once that broke, we tested that once. You could see that then we came in for test, finally broke out above it, got above it, flipped it into support, and then fallen back down. That's a big level, 26. Get above 26. We could talk about maybe looking to position long again, but not right now. Right now, silver also needs to prove itself. There are more attractive markets. Speaking of which, everybody was waiting for the pullback on Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a 28% pullback into strong support. A couple of different areas. Let me first start on the 3-day time frame for you. You could see in what you're looking at over here is this trend line over here. We've pulled back into that trend line. This trend line was drawn in months ago. We used this line over here as the prime trend line. I then cloned it. You could see that over here. I cloned it over here, here. And you can see right now, so far, price is respecting and holding that trend line. It's also holding this trend line over here. Look, here's one touch, two touch. Over here was the third touch. Here's the fourth touch. Very bullish, holding that trend line while we're trading above it. You can see that price so far has resumed off of this touch of this trend line support over here, of this other trend line support, this confluence of areas over here, resuming off of it. Everything looks very, very bullish here on Bitcoin. What would happen if we lost this trend line over here, right? And if we lost this trend line support over here, coming in at 30,700? Would that be a bearish event? Absolutely. We've already come down 30%. If we were to lose this trend line over here, that at that point would signal a further correction. And by the way, it might not end off the next support, which is 27,667 coming in right now. You could see that the last time that we touched that area was back at the first week of January when we spiked down into it. That trend line held over here. You could see that we came off it and then held the outer one as support. We've tested that one again. Everything looks super healthy over here. Here's the time, right, to lean in. You're waiting for that pullback. You had the pullback. As soon as the pullback happens, everyone gets too frightened. They don't want to take the position, right? Everyone has to have that calmness about them, that Zen-like consciousness. And as price comes in, you have to follow your plan over here. You have to be looking to pick up off this support. You could limit your risk by if price were to trade below this area over here that we said that's very important it holds. You could just get out. Wait for price to repair itself, for things to look bullish again, and then get back into the market. Either way you look at it right now, we are in the midst of the bull market phase of Bitcoin, and the next 9 months or so are going to continue to perform as we've laid out months ago, many months ago, a year ago. We've been making the case for what is transpiring right now. So what is next on Ethereum? Ethereum also, we readjusted the support line over here this morning. I moved it up about $20 on Ethereum. This is what price is currently respecting over here. Ethereum had a little bit more, like a 32% drawdown over here. Very nice area and gift for people looking to get into Ethereum to perhaps take a trade over here as we pulled back into support. Right now, a couple of things I want to look at. You can see Ethereum is into that little bit of resistance right over here. You could wait for price to get back above this area over here at 1145 and then look to attack to the long side, look for a test and hopefully breaking out to new all-times once again. Or you could wait for a retest of this area of support over here. Could you enter now? Right? If you miss the pullback over here into the area of support and prices over here, could you enter now, limiting your risk down over here if price were to take out this support and at that point exit the trade? Do you wait for it to start resuming off of this local resistance right over here when things technically have improved? What's your plan? Just don't take a trade. Analyze the market, figure out what you want to do, and then wait for the trade to develop, then get into the trade. We're going to take a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin over here. You can see that right now we are trading below the resistance over here at 0.033174 and above the support over here at 0.0299. Why that's important? Come over here to the 3-day again with me today. So we're spending a lot of time on the 3-day. This is the trend line that goes back to the all-time high on Ethereum, Bitcoin. And then when we tested it back in August of 2020, tested again over here in November of 2020, and have finally broken out. I'm going to jump back into real time right now. This is an important trend line break, which sets off the entry on Ethereum, Bitcoin. However, in real time, you can see what happened after the breakout right over here. We came into that first area of resistance and have had trouble breaking and holding that since. It's a pretty big level. Getting above this level of resistance, that does open up the upside with a lot more, let's call it certainty. Nothing certain in the markets by any chance. Let's just call it a higher probability of price continuing upwards and then coming up towards this swing high over here from the late August, September 2020 at 0.039684. Now, that's the higher probability trade, the safer entry. However, if you're playing this trend line break over here, if you're playing that trend line break and you see that price came into that first resistance, retested the support, it's horizontal support, it's also that trend line support coming in right over there, this whole area, bounced off it but had trouble again in the resistance. And then what happened? Back into that support, here's the resumption off, price is right there right now. Is that an entry? I think it's a good one. Stop loss definitely right below this last swing low over here. That's coming in around 0.02887. Coming into the resistance, I would not take any profit off the table whatsoever. I would not be looking to take profit until price came in and tested this resistance all the way up here. A small recap just to keep you all in the flow of the market over here. Bitcoin, yes, looks good over here. Looks good to me over here. I could cap my risk. The upside, we all know it's massive. Same thing on Ethereum, tracking Ethereum, Bitcoin as well. I think that's where the play is at over here. NASDAQ offering possible opportunity here for the aggressive among you. Indexes though, that's not really where I want to go ahead and deploy my resources right now personally. Anything or anyone that has anything to add, please go ahead. Let's continue the discussion below. Everyone, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all in the morning.